Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV reaction. Today we have another one requested by Thracian in the executive producer queue, and this is answers from before Meteor. I don't know anything else. That's all I have. No context was given, no like blurbs of what the situation may be, so I'm just gonna listen to this. It's about 7 minutes long, and without further ado, let's go! Why does that sound reversed? I don't think it is, but it just, whatever language it is, sounds reversed. It's not Latin. Is it? It's kind of hard to tell, actually. I don't know what that is. I can't place it. Honestly, I can't even tell if it's a Slavic or Germanic language. That's English. Can't tell if that's a lyre or a harp. I feel like the range makes it a harp. I love the minimalist approach to it though, because I know it's gonna build to something. We got so much time for it to build up. I don't want to talk over it. It's so pretty. There it is. I knew it had to build to something. And now we got the organ coming in. Obviously the choir. It's still fairly minimal. It's just doing accent swells. It's really taken its time building. And also very thin. Like, there's not a lot of low end, not even in the organ. They're not using the bottom pedals, I don't think. Yeah, the biggest bass you get is out of the swell of the timpani there. Oh, there's a little bit more balance to the mix.
Now open your eyes while our plight is repeated. Still deaf to our cries.
Anybody who's ever played a drum kit in an orchestra knows the feeling of this particular drum part. Just lay on the floor. Very lethargic.
Bearing sins of the past, for our future is taken.
No fancy shit. That was different. A little bit of a change up.
Whoa.
the vocalist is doing a lot of carrying here. She's got a beautiful voice.
By a plague of devil and she-lords. Judgment binds all we hold to a memory.
And even though it did introduce more instruments like the guitar and everything, they still kept it fairly minimal. Whoop. Drummer almost built into something there. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's different. Completely different meter for the drums, especially, so. It means the whole song changes time signature just a little bit. Okay.
Life is a riddle to bear rapture and sorrow. To listen, to suffer, to entrust unto tomorrow.
Beautiful harmonizing there. I mean, it always has been. This whole song has been really solid, but just this like specific part is really pretty. The separating at the end of the phrasing is really cool for the harmony. As she goes up and down, and they just do like a half-step variant of that in their range. Ooh, ooh, oh, that's pretty. Okay, beautiful song. I say that every single time, and I mean it every single time. This song, though, specifically was beautiful in a way I did not anticipate, as you probably noticed from my reaction. This was a lot more slow and paced and methodic than I ever expected it to be. It's not that I expected to get something like heavy metal or like deathcore in here. I didn't expect grindcore. It's not that I was anticipating anything speedy or notably quick even. It's just that specifically the vibe of this one really like latched onto me. It made me latch on to it. I was following this story, listening to the cries and the tales of a war-torn person or nation. It was kind of phrased in a general sense, so I'm assuming that this is some sort of just a generalized recollection of war and the stress of life and death and all of that stuff around it. It's just, you know, that general message going on, looking for answers where they're hard to find, the whole nine. I could read into a bunch of that, but generally I think what was so interesting about this one compositionally was the lack of low end and how slow it particularly was. Like I mentioned in there, the low end was mostly the vocals and then didn't really get much else except for those swells from the percussion section, and then pretty much the drum set for the latter half of the song was basically all of the low end for this mix. And that, I think, is notable purely because that's not normally the thing they would do, especially when something like an organ is included. They usually have the pedals being played too. For those who don't know how organs work, you have like a couple of racks of keyboards up by your hands, but then there's also a lower level of notes that are played by the feet. It's like a whole keyboard down at the feet, and those are where the bass notes are played for basically anything to do with an organ. It's the sound that you expect when you hear an organ because it's big, it's powerful, it's got presence. They didn't really use that here. If they did, it was only in the higher register to the point where you didn't even notice it. So I don't think they used it at all. I think it was all organ on the keys, which is very interesting to me because that takes a lot of the punch out of it, and it makes it feel more empty, which I think as a concept for this song, and if it is about a war-torn nation or a people, that totally fits the vibe. You're exhausted. There's not really a backbone anymore. anymore. There's a few swells, you know, like they're not dead, they're not entirely gone, but they're tired, they're exhausted, their forces are depleted, they're probably hungry, starving. But the act of removing a low end, removing a bass line from a song is a perfect way to remove any sort of backbone from the track. Any of it. There is no sense of like sturdiness to this song because they can't stand on their feet anymore. And I think that that was entirely intentional. We did get a little bit again with the kit coming in, the drum kit was there, and those swells. Again, those are like kind of the breathing pulse in between all of the movement for this song, in my opinion. I think that's what they were going for here. There's moments of that swelling intensity where you're like, oh, we might be able to stand and fight. Nope, it's tired. We're tired. You can't do it, right? So that being the direction they decided to go, and then really the only thing in the kit that was being played that had any sort of low end was the kick drum, and that's just to create the sense of rhythm beneath the song. And again, it was so slow and labored, so it makes you feel like this entire song is just an exhausted nation walking to wherever they're going to settle next, because whoever's left after whatever took them out, whatever they just dealt with, be it famine or war, is just exhausting the people. So having that sort of like a slow, laborious march as somebody is singing about the trials and tribulations of that reality is a very, very tangible moment, with the choir backing it up, showing like there's a scale to this, there's multiple people involved and multiple people affected, and it's not like a bright and happy song by any means. It's just slow, it's tired, it's exhausted. But also the flame of hope isn't entirely gone either. It's just that reality smacked them in the face, and while they understand that that's the case, they are understanding of their situation, it doesn't make it an easier pill to swallow. So I'm not entirely sure, obviously, with whatever happened in this game, what would have caused this song to be played, but I do love that. I usually wouldn't be like, oh man, they got rid of all the bass line. You give them a fucking Grammy, it's fantastic. Usually I'm not like that. I'm usually wondering why something like that would be missing, why they would remove it. But contextually for this one, it makes total sense as an artistic choice, which is very rare in a lot of music I listen to. Removing the bass here makes an artistic sense, which again, usually is not the case. When they remove stuff or they just don't have enough of it in the mix, that's purely just a technical issue. They just don't have it for whatever reason. They either thought they didn't need it or whatever. But for this one, for the context we have and the story they're telling, it makes sense to get rid of all of the low end. That's the floor. That is, like I said earlier, the backbone. It is the base of everything. If you get rid of that, there's nothing for the people to stand on who are in the song. There's nothing for that context to stand upon. You're basically standing on wet land, marsh, you know, something you can't quite get your feet on. There's not an assured sort of grounding sensation to this song. It's slow, it's tired, it's labored, and there's no way to plant your feet and feel confident in any step you take. So that's gotta be what they're going for with this composition, and that is gorgeous. I hope that that's what they're going for here. I hope I'm in the right with guessing that, but I won't know if people don't explain stuff. So please, I do love me some lore dumps. If you want to leave one in the comments below, I will always read those. I love reading lore dumps. They're so much fun. So let me know if I'm in the ballpark with that or if I'm completely off base, and I suppose that'll be about it for this video. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you want to request something else from Final Fantasy or anything else, it could be from anyone, from any game, it doesn't really matter. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Thracian did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will force me to listen to whatever you want. Doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!